Every drug begins with a promise. To wake you up, calm you down, or make you feel something that life can also give, just not as fast, and never without a price. A sip, a pill, a breath, and for a moment, everything feels lighter. But chemistry always takes its share. Some effects fade within hours, others carve deep into your brain and slowly destroy the life you once had. From caffeine to fentanyl, this is the price behind every high. Caffeine. Caffeine blocks adenosine, the signal that tells your brain it's time to rest. You feel sharper, focused, alive. It's legal, cheap, and part of culture, a socially accepted addiction. But too much turns energy into anxiety, focus into restlessness. The crash comes quietly, leaving you tired, wired, and reaching for another cup. Nicotine. Nicotine mimics acetylcholine and floods the brain with dopamine. It sharpens attention for minutes. Then craving replaces calm. Smoking feels like control, but it's dependency disguised as routine. Each cigarette rewires the brain's reward system a little deeper. Alcohol. Alcohol slows the central nervous system. It softens fear and lowers inhibition. Because it's celebrated everywhere, at parties, dinners, holidays, that's what makes it so dangerous. Each glass weakens control and clouds judgment. Over time, it steals memory, coordination, and emotional stability. The body can recover only partly, the mind often never. Cannabis. Cannabis alters cannabinoid receptors and changes how the brain perceives time. For some, it brings calm. For others, paranoia. Used often, it dulls motivation and weakens short-term memory. Relaxation turns to dependence, and focus slips away unnoticed. Opioids. Opioids bind to pain receptors and silence both pain and emotion. Relief feels perfect until tolerance grows. Withdrawal brings agony, chills, and despair. Over time, the brain forgets how to feel pleasure without them. What began as pain relief often ends as survival by the dose. Cocaine. Cocaine floods dopamine so fast that confidence becomes euphoria. For minutes, you feel unstoppable. Then comes the crash. Paranoia, exhaustion, emptiness. Each high burns the brain's reward circuit a little more, until even real joy feels unreachable. Methamphetamine. Meth supercharges dopamine and adrenaline. It gives energy, focus, and euphoria, while destroying the body from within. Teeth rot, skin breaks down, and sleep disappears. The brain, once overstimulated, struggles to function normally again. LSD and magic mushrooms. Both LSD and psilocybin act on serotonin, twisting how the brain processes reality. Colors shift, time stretches, and thoughts spiral. For some, it feels enlightening. For others, terrifying. Trips can bring insight or chaos, and sometimes the mind doesn't return unchanged. MDMA, ecstasy. MDMA releases serotonin and oxytocin, the chemistry of connection. It makes people feel open, loved, and close to everyone, but the brain pays for that flood with depletion. When serotonin levels drop, emptiness follows. What felt like love ends as exhaustion and emotional drought. Ketamine. Ketamine blocks NMDA receptors and separates body and mind. At medical doses, it can ease depression. At abused levels, it causes memory loss, confusion, and emotional numbness. You see the world, but it no longer feels real.
Benzodiazepines. Benzos calm anxiety by slowing brain activity. They quiet fear, but they also numb emotion and alertness. Dependence grows silently, and withdrawal can be deadly. What starts as comfort ends as captivity. ADHD medications, amphetamines. Amphetamines boost dopamine and norepinephrine. Focus sharpens, motivation rises, but misused can cause anxiety, heart strain, and emotional crash. Productivity replaces peace until exhaustion takes over. Steroids. Anabolic steroids imitate testosterone. Muscles grow, aggression often follows. Behind physical power come hormone collapse, mood swings, and organ damage. The reflection in the mirror hides the breakdown underneath. Inhalants. Inhalants cut off oxygen to the brain, creating brief dizziness or euphoria. Every breath kills brain cells. The high lasts seconds, the damage lasts for life. Synthetic cannabinoids. Created to imitate cannabis, stronger, cheaper, and often legal. People use them seeking relaxation, euphoria, or to avoid drug tests. But these chemicals bind up to 100 times more powerfully to brain receptors than THC. What begins as calm can flip in seconds into panic, psychosis, or seizures. They rewrite biology faster than it can repair itself, leaving chaos where peace was sought. Fentanyl. Fentanyl is 50 times stronger than heroin. A few grains can stop breathing. It spreads through counterfeit pills and street drugs, turning one mistake into death. It defines the modern overdose era, a relief that kills faster than pain. Heroin. Heroin converts to morphine in the brain and floods dopamine receptors. Pain, fear, and reality disappear, but in the end, nothing of you remains. Life shrinks to a needle and the next dose. Recovery becomes a battle against both body and memory. PCP, angel dust. PCP separates awareness from control. It triggers delusion, aggression, and hallucination. Some run barefoot through the streets, shouting at invisible enemies or hitting themselves without feeling pain. The body keeps moving, but the mind is already gone. Barbiturates. Barbiturates slow the nervous system to the edge of unconsciousness. Once prescribed for sleep, they're now infamous for deadly overdoses. The margin between calm and death is razor thin. Kratom. Kratom mildly activates opioid receptors. It eases pain and anxiety, but long-term use brings insomnia, irritability, and dependence. Plant-based doesn't mean harmless. The danger is just harder to see. The brain's reward system. All addictive drugs share one goal: dopamine. Each hit replaces real satisfaction with a chemical shortcut. The brain adapts, dulling natural joy. Soon, pleasure feels impossible without the substance. The illusion of control. Every addiction begins as a decision, but chemistry always takes over. Tolerance grows, and choice disappears. Addiction isn't weakness, it's biology hijacked. Psychological aftermath. When use stops, recovery begins, but the brain heals slower than the body. Dreams twist, emotions flatten, and memory fades. Reality returns without color until balance rebuilds. Social and emotional decay. Addiction doesn't destroy one person. It fractures everyone nearby. Trust erodes, families collapse, and isolation deepens. Communities carry the cost long after the high is gone. Recovery. Recovery means rebuilding your life piece by piece, not through sudden insight, but through daily effort. Each day helps the brain regain a little more stability. It's possible, but it's a hard road. Some fully recover, while others learn to live with the scars. The cost of escape. Every drug begins with a promise to ease the pain. But that promise comes at a high price, sometimes paid in memory, emotion, or even life itself. Behind every substance lies an industry of suffering. Addiction drives crime, exploitation, and despair. Entire communities become victims of a market, trading brief comfort for lasting destruction. Chemical legacy. Even after the substance is gone, the wiring remains changed. Neurons remember the pattern of pleasure and need. Hospitals overflow. Families fracture. Nations spend billions fighting a war that never ends. Some recover, others become statistics. Final reflection. Drugs expose how fragile we are and how easily our search for relief becomes the cause of our own destruction. If you like this video, subscribe for more like this.